Thank you all for coming today. We apologize that this presentation is on a small scale. But we wanted to honor you today with our Fields of Honor Valor presentation.
The Quilts of Valor Foundation is a national organization founded in 2003 by Blue Star mom Catherine Roberts. With a son deployed in Iraq, a gunner sitting atop a Humvee, she felt 10 seconds away from panic 24 hours a day. One night she dreamed of a post-deployment warrior struggling with his war demons at 2 o'clock in the morning. She saw him sitting on the side of his bed wrapped in a quilt. The quilt comforted him and fended off the war demons that troubled him. From this vision, Quilts of Valor Foundation began.
This foundation represents one human being reaching out and touching another, without judgment, reaching out with acceptance and with an acknowledgement of service to our nation. The foundation will go wherever those who have been touched by war go or are. We don't need high-profile venues to find them. They are just in plain sight.
This quilt brings you a three-part message from our hearts. First, we honor you for your service. We honor you for leaving all you hold dear to serve, whether in time of crisis or in time of peace. Next, our quilters know that freedom is not free. The cost of our freedom is the dedication of lives of men and women like you. And this quilt is meant to say thank you for your sacrifice. And finally, this quilt is meant to offer comfort to you and to remind you that although your family and friends cannot be with you at all times, you are forever in our thoughts and our hearts.
The Quilters, Tracy Van Hooley, Dorothy Rhodes, and the Old West Quilt Guide, believe that as they sow, love, caring, and gratitude flows from their hearts, through their hands, into the quilts they make. All of them as quilters want you to know that through their quilts, you are forever in their hearts.
And so, on behalf of the Quilts of Valor Foundation and a grateful nation, with our deepest appreciation, we thank you for your service to our country with this Quilt of Valor Award.
Our first quilt is presented to Brad Becerra, who served in Afghanistan.
Why did you pick the service branch you joined?
Because you actually get to serve your community as well as serving your whole country with the Wyoming National Guard or any state National Guard.
Which war did you serve in, or wars?
Afghanistan.
Why did you decide to enlist?
I wanted to do a little bit more for my state and my country, so I enlisted into the Wyoming National Guard in 2014, and I've been serving ever since. And it's just something that I like to do.
Okay, nice. Where were you living at the time?
Here in Thermopolis.
Why did you join?
I joined to further my education, serve my country. I really wanted to get deployed, and that's about it.
Was there like a specific place that you went when you were serving in our war?
Yes, I went to Jalalabad. It's about just over 7,000 miles away.
What was your job?
All the state of Wyoming is artillery. We do have infantry units also here, but our main purpose is artillery. So I actually work on the HIMARS, which is a multiple rocket launcher system, and we just shoot bad guys. So take out buildings, there's lots of intel that comes through, and we're actually work under like rangers and SOTIF guys. So they'll go in and use drones, and they'll keep watching places and people for lots of periods of time, and then they'll see if they're a threat. And that's pretty much what we did. Was we took out ISIS on the border of Syria and Afghanistan.
The next quilt is presented to Mike Messenger, who served in the Vietnam War.
Where exactly did you go?
In Vietnam, I am processed at Bien Hoa near Saigon, and performed guard duty there for about 10 days, and then was flown to Da Nang and interviewed for a job for a commander up there who needed somebody to write and type for them. I qualified because of my college and writing experience, and they took away my M16 rifle and gave me a typewriter. And then the last 3 months of my service, January, February, March of 1971, I spent at Khe Sanh Combat Base up near the demilitarized zone, participating in a operation where the South Vietnamese army invaded Laos to try to cut the Ho Chi Minh Trail, the supply trail, to the south for the North Vietnamese army.
Okay. Do you have any stories you would like to share?
What I really learned was coming from Wyoming and even going to school in Lincoln, Nebraska. I was not aware of the racial strife that was going on in the United States. And there were a lot of black soldiers in the military. And there was a definite divide in the army between the blacks and the whites, Hispanics. And that is the same thing that's going on today with the Black Lives Matter movement and those related movements. They're still fighting those same issues in kind of a different format. There was a lot of militancy in Vietnam. I made friends with a lot of the black people and got to learn about them, but they were militant. And if I would go to a hooch party or something, they would tell me, take off your sergeant stripes, which were pins on the lapels. They said, take them off, you won't be welcome. And so I learned, that's probably one of the most significant lessons I learned. And not coming from an area here in Wyoming, which was racially diverse, it was real eye-opening to be over there. And I never got it into perspective until I was back in the U.S. and saw a lot more going on from this side of things while I was here. And of course, culminating, I hope, with an end of the systemic racial problems that we've got.
Thank you for your service and enjoy your quilt. The next quilt is served to Marshall Keller, who served in Iraq and in Afghanistan.
I mainly because it just seemed like the thing to do at the time. I wasn't bound for college and figured that would be a place to go for a while until I figured out what I wanted to do.
Mr. Keller, do you have any stories that you'd like to share?
Oh, I don't know. Nothing as serious as what Mike was saying. I definitely had some good times. One of the scariest times I had, I was diving at night, and my swim buddy was on my right, because when you're diving, you have a swim buddy. Something hit me really hard, and I thought it was a shark, and I grabbed him, shaking him, and pop up, and there was a sea lion swimming around us. But yeah, that's probably the only cool story I really have. But as far as like what Mike was saying, it was definitely different by the time I got into the military. There was some of that on the ship a little bit in the 90s, but no, in the teams, everybody's pretty much, that goes away.
Do you encourage young people to join today?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Mike said, if you don't know what you're going to do, kind of like I was, it was a good place to go for a while, mature a bit, but also on top of that, it is a good place to learn life skills as far as professionalism and hard work, regardless of what you're going to get paid. You know, you have some hours that are long, and sometimes you get a lot of time off. And on top of that, depending on what you do, you may end up finding a job that you really like and make a career out of it as well. So, and you end up serving out, and especially now it's a volunteer force, I would say you end up being a lot of the most selfless people you'll ever meet.
Thank you all for your selfless service, and thank you to your family's sacrifice. We appreciate all that you have done for our country and for our community. Thank you for coming today. Happy Veterans Day.
I just wanted to say thank you. I think it's important to know about our history, and it sometimes gets glossed over maybe in certain classes. Maybe you have to wait to take special classes if you go to college. But I think if you've got grandfathers or great-grandfathers, you should ask them if they served in World War II or Korea, and ask them about their experiences. Even if they didn't go overseas, but were in the military, it gives you an opportunity to find out. Your grandfathers probably might have served during the Vietnam War, and you should ask them. If not the Vietnam War, they may have been in Korea, and your fathers certainly may have been in the Middle East or in the military during the Middle East. You should talk to them. You should ask them questions. You should learn about their personal histories, which become part of your personal history. And it's important. And unfortunately, someday your husbands, your sons, your brothers are going to serve in a war. Hopefully they'll serve in the military in some non-war capacity, but there'll be more wars. You need to have a background and an understanding what that's all about. And so we wish you the best on behalf of all of us, and hope that you have very successful careers through now in high school and after high school. Thank you.